allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, January 6, 2014. The roll will show that all members are present. Tonight's agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6A, clerk's report. 6B, treasurer's report. 7, public comment. 8, unfinished business. 9, new business. 10, communication. 11, adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved. Support.
It's been moved by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to approve the agenda as presented. Roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, agenda approved.
2A for approval are the council minutes from the regular council meeting held December 23rd, 2013.
So move for December 23rd, 2013.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held December 23rd, 2013. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the minutes are approved.
3A, tonight, Mr. Chair and Council, we do have a petitioner on the agenda. This is Special Tree Rehabilitation Systems NeuroCare Campus PDA rezoning and preliminary PDA site plan review. Tonight, presenting before you, we have Brad Strader. He is from LSL, and he is the city's planning, from the city's planning consultant firm. So if Mr. Strader, there you are.
Thank you, Ellen. Good evening. Brad Stewart from LSL. As Ellen said, here with Carol, and I was anointed to give a brief overview of the PDA since you heard a lot of detail at the public hearing this evening. So just hit maybe a few highlights, maybe for the audience that's watching. The request is for a special tree to have a planned unit development with a multiple family zoning. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of things come into play. First of all, the site is currently zoned single family. So uses such as the applicant presented at the public hearing, single-family homes, duplexes are allowed under the current zoning. So one of the things we do when we have a request for a development such as Special Tree, which is sort of an unusual hybrid of uses, is to compare the impacts and benefits of that package with what's allowed under current zoning. In this case, the city's master plan, which looks at what's the long-range best land uses for the city, designates this site for multiple family. And that's why the applicant showed the apartments are multiple families, so you could contrast the single family or duplexes with the multiple family. Again, it's sort of a comparison between the impacts and benefits of that with the PDA. And then their proposal is for a PDA that mixes the uses you heard about, closed head injury, the duplexes that in some ways are to benefit the residents and so forth. So why a PDA? And why did Carol and I and the administration recommend a PDA? Well, PDA gives the applicant some benefits because it allows mixing some of these uses and having some flexibility, but it gives the city much more control over the development and operations. So with the PDA, you tie the site plan to the rezoning, which is a real benefit, so you can see, as you saw tonight, the layout and what are going to be the impacts. It allows the city to have a written agreement, the PDA agreement that's in your package, that sets forth all the provisions and standards, such as the limits on using Hannon Road access for construction traffic, the provision for access to the future to the east, and all the other provisions in there for landscape and maintenance and so forth. So much more control and scrutiny over the consequences of the development, not only when it's under construction and first opens, but as it continues to operate. So the city has that written agreement that gives over and above regulation and control to what's going on. So the applicant benefits because they get the flexibility and mixture of uses. The city benefits because the issues and concerns that the residents and council and planning commission have are addressed in that PDA agreement. So as the planning commission looked at the site plan, had public hearings, considered the comments of the residents and comments and input from the applicant, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the rezoning tied to the PDA and with the provisions that are outlined in the PDA agreement. So that's kind of a quick overview of how we got to where we are, and Carol and I, Marcus from OHM, we'd be happy to answer any questions. I don't think the applicant has anything additional to add than what he presented earlier tonight, but if you have questions tonight or next week at second reading, he'd be happy to answer those questions.
Thank you, Mr. Strider. Yeah,
Mr. Burden,
a motion?
got a couple questions. This project really has a lot of positive things, has a lot of negative things for me in it too, but I think that the positive outweigh the negative here. You know, the folks that need your service have come to a part of their life that's very devastating, and there's no doubt that your service provides what these folks need. But the folks that live on Chase Road and Hannon Road have been there for 50 and 60 years, and I would hope, and I look at all the owners there, that you address their concerns. Their concerns. We've read the letters tonight of employees telling them, well, there's nothing we can do, that this thing is legal now. Of course, that was false. But when this project begins, can a large sign be put on Chase Road entrance telling these people not to use it for construction? Is that too much of a thing? You know,
Yes, could you come up to the
have to come to the microphone.
podium, please?
Jim Rickert, Special Tree. Mr. Wadsworth, there is a sign at Chase Road that says commercial vehicles prohibited.
okay.
You know, again, have guys that come to our facility used it? Absolutely. We tell them not to. There's an industrial building at the end of the street
I
that
understand
is
that.
not affiliated with us. You know, people get furniture deliveries on Chase. We really are truly trying to do whatever we can to keep traffic off of Chase Road, and we understand it, and we're cognizant of their concerns. And we don't want any problems. We want to be good neighbors. We really do.
And I believe you will, but you have to take the concerns of the people on Chase Road to heart. You can't fluff them off, and maybe there'll be problems in the future, maybe they won't. But these folks have been here for 50 and 60 years, and they do need the respect to be heard.
Sir,
Okay.
I understand.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. Your motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make a motion that we accept PC-2013-017/018 Special Tree Rehabilitation Systems, NeuroCare Campus PDA rezoning, and preliminary PDA site plan review. First reading.
Support.
Support.
Then, motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Cho, for the PC 2013-017/0118 Special Tree Rehabilitation Systems, NeuroCare Campus PDA rezoning and preliminary PDA site plan review. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Cho?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Malkowski?
I must abstain because my son is a critical care worker for Special Tree.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mouse. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you. I just want to add, we just talked about that construction sign. We'll put a sign up at the end of Chase.
Something temporary until the project is complete.
That prohibits construction traffic on Chase.
Okay, thank you.
He said he would know.
Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. From the chairperson's report, tonight we had a 6 p.m. ethics ordinance public hearing. And it's basically for elected officials, employees, and, you know, it's keep our city transparency. At 6:30, we had the special tree rehab systems with the public development area, which Mr. Strada just gave a presentation. I have a letter here, a thank you from Donna Davis and family. As you know, she lost her son when he was trying to help a person in the highway. So she just wanted to thank the elected officials for their concerns and care at this most trying moments. Also, I'd like to I'd like to say happy birthday today to my granddaughter. She's a big 15, and when I mean big, she's about almost 6 feet. She played for Romulus High School, and she's a very nice girl. She's on honor students. She minds her parents. She minds her granddaddy, because I give her money.
There you go.
But she's a very nice girl, and I just say happy birthday, sweetheart. Love you.
Can I have some money?
She got it all here.
Okay. I thought I'd ask.
Okay. And with that, that concludes the chairperson's report.
So move to accept the chairperson's report.
Support.
It's been moved by, the motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to accept the chairperson's report. Roll call. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Melkowski,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Chairperson is accepted.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, Snyder and the Mayor's Report. Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see you for the new year. Quote I brought is fitting for the times. It goes as this: snowflakes are one of nature's most fragile things, but just look at what they can do when they stick together. So my message to that is we need to stick together in 2014. And if we work together as a community, we can get some good things done. So I thought you'd appreciate that one. We've had, along the same lines, we've had some pretty wicked weather here in 2014 already. We had a storm right out of the gate on the 1st. As you know, this last weekend, we had quite a bit of snow, record snow, and now we're experiencing this Arctic blast coming through, and I wanted to address a couple things. One, and not that everybody's going to be happy with the service we provide, but I got to tell you that the DPW, my hat's off to everybody involved, from the top all the way down to the people working countless hours to clear our streets. I know our office received calls from people that said, you plowed in my driveway, and I understand that, but guess what? We've got to get the roads open and the arteries open. It happened at my house as well, but I got a compliment. I was talking to a person from the 34th District Court who represents 5 different communities, and he put it this way to me. He said, of all 5 communities, the roads in Romulus were more passable and safer than any of the other 5. So I just want to say thanks to everybody. Bob, if you take that back to your team, the foreman and Roberto and everybody that was involved in that, the workers, the people that were putting in extra hours to make that happen. I would come here at City Hall at 7 in the morning, and they've already got the stuff plowed. They're trying to get ahead of the game. They really work hard for the city, and I appreciate that, and thank you. Also, we have first responders. We have police and fire who, believe it or not, it makes their job tougher too. I was aware of over the weekend we had some longer response times, but when we're trying to serve the community and there's snow and blowing and drifting, but they showed up, they're professional. We actually did some things creatively to have better coverage on the north and south side of the city to improve those response times. So, a lot of good people are doing a lot of hard work while we're home watching the snow fly. So I just want to, send out my appreciation to them. One thing also I want to talk about that people maybe are not aware of as much is this thing called the snow emergency. We've had to call a snow emergency a couple times in the last week. We've been trying to do some public service announcements running every hour on cable. to kind of educate people on the reasons why we need to have snow removed from the streets and why we need vehicles out of the public streets so that we can do that. I'd like right now, if I could, for Director of Public Safety, John Leacher, to come up and talk a little bit about that, just so you can hear and the public can hear why this is very important to our safety and welfare for the community.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council, Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk. Yeah, the mayor asked if I just kind of brief you on basically what we've done over the course of the last weekend, as well as just kind of go over what a snow emergency entails and what it is. A snow emergency takes place when either a certain accumulation of snow has fallen, or the conditions are such that may be irrespective of the amount of snow, it could be causing hazardous conditions on the roads, so that emergency vehicles can't pass down those roads and can't get to people they need to get to. So when a snow emergency is declared, it's required that all vehicles be removed from city streets. And that's so the snowplows can get down and do their job. And I would echo what the mayor had said earlier, that I thought that the roads in Romulus were in phenomenal shape compared to other roads that I traveled on today as well outside of the city. But the way that gets done is for those vehicles to be out of their way so that they don't have to put in an exorbitant amount of hours to get those roads clear. But just as important, and from my perspective, more important, is that those roads need to be clear so fire personnel and police personnel can get down those streets and give emergency services to our residents that need it. Because as the mayor stated earlier as well, those services are already hampered due to road conditions in general, let alone roads that we're not able to get down because cars are left out on the streets and are plowed in. So what the course of action that has taken place over the last weekend was, on Friday afternoon, the mayor determined it was necessary to extend the snow emergency through, it was actually through today, but we extended it today again because of the amount of snow that fell. Once that was done, the PSAs were being played every hour on the hour, basically going over basically what I just talked about why it's important that the roads are clear for emergency, for snowplows to get down the road, but also for emergency vehicles to get down the road as well. We then sent out, Friday afternoon, we sent out ordinance personnel to tag vehicles that were left on the street, again giving another warning to our residents to please move your vehicles from the roadway. The tag indicated that if they're not removed, they could be towed. I also initiated a code red warnings to all the residents that subscribe to that system. Basically what that is, it's kind of like a reverse 911 that in a snow emergency situation can be utilized. We talked to the vendor was very supportive and said, oh gosh, we've got people all over the Midwest that are utilizing us right this very moment, putting out similar messages. What that does is what that message basically said was, again, reiterating what was already been placed on all the media channels and had already been done through the PSAs, was that a snow emergency was in effect. The snow emergency was in effect until Monday, 4 p.m., and that the requirement of that was that all vehicles be removed from city streets. We were able to make connections with almost 5,000 residents through that means as well. So we've done an awful lot to try to make contact with our residents and let people know that they need to get those vehicles off the street for us so we can get those roads clear. The last option available to us after extending the emergency beyond 4 p.m. today into tomorrow was to unfortunately start towing those vehicles to get them out of the way. And again, the end result of this is that again, less of the residents' driveways get plowed in and get plowed under numerous times when those vehicles are out of the way. And again, even more importantly, from our perspective, is those roads are clear so emergency services can get to the places and the people they need to get to.
Mr. Byrne?
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
John, that contact of 5,000, that was the telephone call that went to the homes you're referring to?
That's correct.
Okay. I was impressed by that. That was quite good.
We connected at about a 53% rate. I actually received a call from our vendor today. We talk about customer service. They do a great job at Code Red with that. They've offered us the opportunity to do a free all call and not charge us for that, to basically get a handle on updating our listing. our rep called me and said, I'm not happy with the 53%. I talked to the mayor this morning, we were pretty happy with that. But they said, we're not happy with that, we want that to be better. So we think maybe some things might be out of date. We're offering you an opportunity for a free call to try to update those services. Maybe we can encourage, give you some suggestions of how to go about getting people to enlist to that service. The emergency part of that service is phenomenal because those calls go out to everybody that signs up. So it's a great opportunity and a great service, a way to get information. And if you have an answering machine, that will leave a message for you on your answering machine. So as long as there's a way for you to be connected or contacted 24/7, that code red system will leave those messages for you. So.
Through the chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms. Nowakowski.
Any thoughts of texting? Texting those, I get texts from Eastern Michigan University, the college is down today.
I can look into that and see if they offer that service. I know that service will go to cell phones as well, and I believe it would leave a message on your voicemail, but the texting option is not a bad option as well. I can look into that. They may offer that service.
Okay.
We can check on that. I know that cell phones it does, because you can plug those right in, and it'll call cell phones as well, too.
That's 100%.
Yes. We're trying to get better, but, as you can see, we're being proactive, letting people know the public service announcements, and it really is important. So as of today, we started towing vehicles. We've given the message, we've notified people, but ultimately, we owe it to our citizens to keep them safe, and we take that serious. So thank you, John, for coming up, and unless there's any other questions for him.
Any other questions?
Thank you, John.
Okay, thanks, John.
Along the same lines, now that we're taking care of snow, we have these brutal cold temperatures, okay? And I want the public to be aware of that we do have a warming center that's designated in the city of Romulus, and that's the Romulus Senior Center on Bibbins Road. The hours are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. During the week. And they actually have, if you want to come in and get a warm cup of soup, Rose is even providing that as well too. So if a family just needs to get warm, they're tired of being out in the cold, they don't have a good place to go, they're welcome to be there as well during the regular hours from 8 till 4. One other impact of the weather that we've had is that Waste Management, who handles our garbage pickup, they did notify us that they're running a day behind. So if your garbage did not get picked up, don't take it personal. It's going to be a day behind. If it goes beyond that, then let us know or let Waste Management know, and we can make sure that they correct that. It's kind of tough when they're putting garbage cans out and plowing because they tend to get knocked over, and be patient with that, but Waste Management assured us that they will be back out. They're just running a little bit behind. So that's a little bit on kind of the weather front. I wanted to talk about a couple employee things. Again, employee recognition is huge, and I got a notification of this after the fact, but I still want to make sure that we give a shout out. This is a senior center employee, and this is Sylvia Dubisky, who I was made mention of today that she actually retired. She had spent over 20-some plus years doing all kinds of things from Meals on Wheels to volunteering, and I know from personally, whenever I went into the center, she always had a smile on her face, was always there helping with whatever she could to make it better for seniors in their life. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her. Thanks for all her years of service to the city of Romulus, and Sylvia, we appreciate everything that you do. On another note with employees, this goes back to Christmas Eve. We talk about customer service and going the extra. I want to recognize some employees from the DPW. We had a water main break, Christmas Eve water main. If you remember, it was cold, snowy, and we had several people that stepped up, made it possible through their efforts to make sure a family had water on Christmas Day, which I think is huge. Those employees were Foreman George Simcoe, Nicole Harvey, Dwayne Parker, David Druyard, and Scott Haydenack. So I know we have a lot of employees that are day in, day out, going above, and you could say, well, that's their job, isn't it? But let me tell you, when they're out in the cold with that big white bread truck standing next to the hole getting that fixed, this family really appreciates it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them and thank you for all their hard work as well. Learning things as we get in this administrative office, and I wanted to share something with council, and I wanted to share something with the public that I didn't realize is as big of an issue, and just kind of raise the awareness. We had a call, or actually we had, through the clerk's office, thank you, they directed a resident that was not happy with a water bill. I wouldn't be either. They had 2 water bills that totaled $6,000. Come to find out what happened after checking into it was basically the home that the water bill that ran up this enormous rate had a emergency sump pump that runs off of fresh water as backup, so that when the sump pump goes out, it kicks in, fresh water circulates the pump, keeps the basement from flooding. So you think, okay, that's a good thing, right? Well, yeah, it keeps your basement dry, but if you don't know that pump is running and that meter is spinning, what happened is it caught 2 different billing cycles that as soon as it triggered a peak in performance from our water department, we sent a service tech out, caught the problem immediately, but it was too late. So one thing I'm trying to do with our community outreach people is go to neighborhood associations. We're going to do some things with cable. I want you to know, residents at home that know, if you have that device in your home, it's okay, but there's an emergency device you can put on it that sends an alarm knowing it's using water. So you know that that thing is using fresh water, so you can then go check and investigate what's going on. Unfortunately, with this resident, not only that, but of course, you know, with water bills, you pay water and sewer. So you're paying for both. In this case, they're only using water. So if you have one of those devices, and they sell them everywhere, Home Depot, wherever you put one of those in, it's a good emergency backup for your sump, but you need to be aware that it's using fresh water to run that. And if you have a problem, you may want to get an emergency device that triggers you alarms that you're using water to keep your sump running. We're going to do some things internally to try to improve the process. Try to find out if we can trigger those service calls sooner. The issue we have is that residential water bills only get done every quarter. Businesses get them every month. So we're going to work with the water department. This is not the first time it's happened, but I hope that we can, through this real tough lesson, try to improve the process so this doesn't happen like this to somebody else. So you're going to hear more about it, but I just wanted to share that with you. If you have one of those in your house, you may want to consider getting a different device as an emergency trigger, or change it out to an electric sump, whatever your wishes are. A couple other things that I want to just ask council to consider are, we have a memorial resolution request for Shirley Hall. The Hall family has had loss. They had lost their father a while back. This is Annie Hall's father-in-law, Ted Hall, and Vicky Hall's mother. This is a tough loss for them. They had severe cancer come down with not a lot of notice, and I don't have the arrangements unless someone here does, but either at this time or later in the report, if council would do a memorial resolution, I would appreciate that, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, okay. Would anybody like to do motion
So
now?
moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
For a memorial resolution for
Okay.
Ted Hall,
Okay, thank you. It's been moved by
For
Mr.
the
Watt.
family of Shirley Hall.
of Shirley Hall. I'm
Sure,
sorry.
okay. Been moved by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, for memorial resolution for Ms. Shirley Hall. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, memorial resolution approved.
Thank you. Another request I do have, and I do have the information for it, would be for the family of Richard Bell, who passed away. That would be Bronson Bell's father, and also Pat Williams' father, more family members as well that were around this residence. I do have the information on that, and it looks like there's this Friday, there's visitation at Penn Funeral Home, 3 to 8 p.m. Then Saturday they have a family hour at 9:30, and there's looks like a service at New Creation Ministries on Greenfield in Detroit on Saturday morning, if you're interested in that. But again, tremendous loss to the family, and if you would do a resolution and keep them in your thoughts and prayers.
Mr. Barton.
Yes, Mr. Kraut.
I want to say one thing about Richard Bell. He was 85 years old when he passed away. A lot of people probably didn't know Richard Bell, but a lot of people probably know his son, Bronson Bell. He's a good friend of mine. A lot of people know Bronson Bell from the north side. They call him the mayor from the north side. So if anybody in the north side, they know who the mayor of the north side is. This was his dad who passed away. And I make the motion for the moral resolution.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Abdo, for memorial resolution for Mr. Richard Bell. Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Or resolution passed.
Thank you. And on a happy note, I'd ask you to do a resolution recognizing the 90th birthday, and that would be for Mr. Bud Hoffman. So,
So moved, Mr. Chairman. for
Support.
Bud.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, from Mr. Hoffman. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
thank you. And just the last bit of information before I get into the business portion is that you've also seen segments running on cable. Senator Hopgood from the state had me come up to Lansing. He has a regular program, and myself, as well as Neil Silver, participated in a program. And I really just want to let you know why we're doing this and trying to raise the awareness. I want to thank council for your support in opposition of the injection well. This new council, as well as many other past council members. Part of what's happened in my second week in office of mayor, I was informed that they had been approved by the EPA. I want to thank all those. There are hundreds of people over the years that have been involved in this fight. I think it's important that we not let it go by the wayside and that people are aware of what the issues are. That's the reason I agreed to do that show. That show is running on Channel 12, 9, noon, 4, and 9 p.m. Since we've talked last about the well, I have reached out to the new mayor of Taylor, Rick Solers, and he is interested in continuing to partner with us in that fight. It's a tough fight because we haven't had a lot of say in the process, but we do have a lot of concerns, and we have a lot of passionate people that love our city and love this Great Lakes state. So I'll continue to do what I can do to support, both at the state or federal level, any muster up any more support to help us fight in this opposition. So I just wanted to let you know that is going on. If you want more information, be happy to talk about it. But really, thanks to all the people that have been supportive over the years, and let's not give up that fight. So,
Mayor, I'd like to say just one thing
Yes.
prior to your report. The program with you and Mr. Hopgood is a very good program. I watched it, and a lot of good questions came out, and the answers was, pretty appropriate and very informational. So I would just say good job.
well, thanks. And I didn't really know what they were going to get into. I kind of walked into it cold. Neil was helpful on the legal side as well too, but it was time well spent going to Lansing. And again, we need to continue to fight, and thanks to everybody in the city that's continued to rally around that cause. Now, let's get into the regular business report tonight. What we have first is 5A, which is a service contract for a format printer scanner for the Department of Public Works. I'm asking for a motion to concur with the administration to authorize myself and the clerk to enter into a service contract and to expire October 26, 2014 for the Department of Public Works for the HP wide format printer scanner with Reprographics 1 Incorporated. The amount is $1,189, and the funds are available out of the water maintenance contract account.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for the
Support.
service contract for the format printer scanner for the DPW.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Makowski, to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a service contract extension to expire October 26, 2014 for the Department of Public Works HP wide format printer scanner with Reprographics 1 Incorporated in the amount of $1,189. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Malkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion is approved.
Thank you for that, council. My next request under 5B, respectfully request to concur with the appointment of Chris Dunn to the City of Romulus Housing Commission to fulfill a term, the vacant board member position. This term will expire February 26, of 2015.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion to concur with administration and appoint Chris Dunn to the City of Romulus Housing Commission to fulfill the term of the vacant board member position. The term will expire on February 26th, 2015.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo, for concur with the administration and appoint Chris Dunn to the City of Romulus Housing Commission to fill the term of the vacant board member position. The term will expire on February 26, 2015. I just want to say on the discussion that I know Mr. Dunn, Chris Dunn, and I think it was a great choice. He's a very community activist, and he's really concerned about the community. And I think that he would do a good job and represent the city of Romulus well. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Malkowski.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. 5C, respectfully request to concur with the administration and appoint Sylvia Makowski to serve on the City of Romulus Municipal Library Board as the city council liaison appointment and run concurrent with her city council term, and also James Napierkowski to serve as the resident board member at large with a term to expire on April 11th, 2016.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, to nominate Mrs. Mankowski to serve on the library board, and Mr. James Aberkowski.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, to concur with the administration appoint Sylvia Makowski, our own Sylvia Makowski, to serve on the City of Romulus Municipal Library Board as the city council liaison, appointed to run concurrent with her city council term, and James Nibrakowski to serve as resident board member with a term to expire on April 11, 2016. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
I must abstain because I can't vote for myself.
Okay.
But I would if I could, because I
All
love that
right.
library.
All right, I'm sure. All right. Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Last item, 5D, request to concur with administration and appoint Maria Lambert, Hoffman, Ellen Craig Bragg, Mary Druyard, Lynn Conway, Julie Waitoko, Cynthia Kellerman to serve on the Romulus Arts Council Commission, and all terms to expire on November 11th, 2015. And I want to mention that, we look at all the boards and commissions, we look at activity and who's contributing, and with this group, everybody was passionate and has been active for quite a while. I know you recognize a lot of names from City Hall, but these people are very passionate about the Arts Council and Commission and have done an awesome job, so I ask for their reappointment.
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman?
Mayor?
Which one?
Mayor in the future, maybe, sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, I was just listening to you and said, Mr. Chair, may I?
yes.
I move that we concur with the recommendation for the following appointments to the City of Romulus Arts Council and Commission: Maria Lambert, Deborah Hoffman, Ellen Craig Bragg, Mary Druyer, Lynn Conway, Julie Waitolko, and Cynthia Kellerman, with all terms expiring on November 11th, 2015.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Malkowski, supported by Ms. Choate, for all the names mentioned by Ms. Malkowski, to serve all the terms expiring on November 11th, 2015. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Malkowski.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion is approved.
Thank you very much, and that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
6A is the clerk's report. Under 6A1, Deborah Hoffman, the Financial Services Director, is requesting a one-hour study session for Monday, January 13th, 2014, at 6 o'clock p.m. And this is to discuss the audited June 30th, 2013 financial statements.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion to have a one-hour study session requested from Debbie Hoffman, Financial Services Director, on January 13, 2014. Did I say that right? January 13th, 2014, in regards to the audit.
So move. Second?
It's been Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Malkowski, for a 1-hour study session request from Debbie Hoffman, Financial Service Director, on January 13th, my birthday again, 2014, at 6 p.m. Roll call, Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Malkowski,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved for a study session at 6 p.m., January 13th.
Under 6A2, again, Deborah Hoffman, the Financial Services Director, is requesting a 1.5-hour study session for January 27th, 2014. And this is for a municipal finance overview seminar, and this would be a presentation by our auditors, Plant Moran. And we're looking at a time slot for 6 o'clock.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
I'll make that motion. I'll make the motion requesting a 1.5-hour study session on January 27th, 2014 for the Municipal Finance Overview Seminar presented by our auditors, Plant Moran.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for the 1.5-hour study session request from Debbie Hoffman, Financial Services Director, on January 27th at 6 p.m. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Malkowski.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved for study session.
Mr. Chairman, on those last two, just wanted to make mention, I had tried to get the last session before the audit, and it wasn't possible, but I still think it's really important. What you just scheduled on the 27th will help all of us tremendously as we go through the budget process. So I did ask Frank Audia from Plant Moran, when he does the audit presentation, especially for new council members, to make sure that you get the information ahead of time. If you have questions, if there are things that you need more answers to beyond that study session, call him. He'll spend time. He assured me that he will do that, but we just couldn't make it happen with the hour-and-a-half session first before the audit. The audit was actually due December 31st, so we've already submitted it, but I thought it would be timely to get that to you as soon as possible. So that's why we did it that way. But anything you need from Plant Moran, he assured he will help with.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
6A3, I, Ellen Craig Bragg, your city clerk, I'm requesting council's authorization for the mayor and myself to sign an addendum to the City of Romulus' contract with Municipal Code Corporation. This is the final step in the recodification process. The addendum outlines the charges that will be incurred to process supplements for future ordinances, which will include making them available online for the public. And I've also provided for you a copy of the original contract, which was signed on November 19th in 2003. And before council takes action, again, 10 years in the making. We want to thank former clerk, Councilwoman Choate, and all the work that she had placed into 10 years ago. It's a very cumbersome process for the codification and for ordinances and things. So thank you, Councilwoman Choate, for all the work you put into this 10 years ago. So we've finally been able to bring this whole project to fruition. It's taken 10 years, but again, it's just a very cumbersome project, and this is the final step in that the ordinances will be available online, not just to you, council, but also to the public. Thank you.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for the approval of the amendment to the existing municipal code contract.
I support that. And may I say one thing too, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Thank you, Ms. Craig Bragg. I thought that process would never end. I mean, it just always, it may have been only 10 years, but it seemed like at least 30. So, thank you.
Mr. Barton? Also, I'd like to comment that we no longer have to wait for paper inserts to tear it apart and put it together.
That's right.
Which Mrs. Chokes used to give us on a weekly basis, I thought.
And I bet you never put it in your,
I put every one together, and then I got little round white stickers when I would tear them out.
Okay, motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Choate, for request approval for amendment to the existing municipal code contract. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Mr. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, and that concludes the clerk's report. 6B is a treasurer's report.
Good evening, everyone. Lots of birthdays today. I too would like to wish my daughter Alexis Page a very happy birthday. She is 17 today. Just want her to know that I am proud of her. I want her to keep up the good work and that I love her. So thank you for that. Next on my report, I want to announce the 2013 Red Ribbon Essay Writers, but I want to talk about the Romulus Task Force first and the process that we went through for these Red Ribbon Essay Writers. The purpose of the Romulus Drug Task Force is to provide much-needed programs for drug prevention and awareness for our youths. We also provide several scholarships to Romulus students. In order to do this, we organize fundraisers to raise those funds. In the month of October, the middle school and the high school students were invited to participate in an essay contest for Red Ribbon Week. All of the committee members and the mayor would like to thank all of our students that participated in the Red Ribbon Week. Once the essays were collected, they were read and the winners were selected and announced. Then the winners were invited to a luncheon. The luncheon was held at the RAC. Those students met with the Romulus Drug Task Force committee members as well as the mayor and some of his administrative staff. The mayor explained what the Romulus Drug Task Force is all about and shared a few experiences with them pertaining to this subject. Thank you for that. At this time, I would like to announce the names of all the essay winners, and please forgive me if I mispronounce their name. For the 2013 middle school Red Ribbon Essay Writers, Jaden Chavis, Marcelin Delva, Kendall Dorsey, Leonard Holmes, Simone Jones, Ayana Nialt, Marissa Rabai, Tamia Thompson, Amaya Walden, Gerard Walters, Adriana Washington. And then we have our high school winners. And those winners are Marielle Johnson, Derek Fields, Savannah Stallnaker, Kaylin Carter, Larry Moore, Mariah Johnson, Brianna Hill, Cortez Pittman Jr., Christ Irby, Victoria Lewis, Tyrone Hamby, Jasmine Morrison, Lavelle Keys, Markel Small, Yolanda Wilson, Najee Moore, Samantha Curley, Tari Rogan, Cam Horn, Kewan Williams, and Tavon Gibbs. Congratulations to all those winners, and thank you for the great job.
Yes. Madam Treasurer, you mentioned one name in Tyrone Hamby?
Yes.
That's my nephew.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
wonderful.
Okay,
Did I pronounce his name correctly?
correct.
Wonderful.
Got it better
Thank
than I
you.
did.
Okay. Also, Mr. Chairman, I think that the Dorsey girl was Eva Webb's granddaughter
You
as
are
well. So
correct.
she was there, so we were well represented. It was a good,
Right.
great group, and thanks to the task force for all their hard work, and thanks for the kids that wrote the essays.
Great job.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is a portion of our meeting where those in the audience can address council with your comments or concerns. If you would like to address council, please raise your hand after you've been acknowledged by the chairperson. We ask that you approach the podium stating your name and your address, and that you would limit your comments to 3 minutes. Mr. Chair and council, we do not have any written requests at this time.
Okay. All right. Any other public comment in the audience? Okay.
Number 8 is unfinished business.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
if I
Mr. Bob.
could, since you've all kind of put me in a corner with these birthdays, tomorrow, my granddaughter Sarah will also turn 17, and on Saturday, my wife Jean will turn 36,
Smart man.
Smart
the
man.
11th.
Smart man.
man.
Smart man. Very
Ms. Makowski?
Of course.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I would like to send a special shout out to my beloved husband Don, who is, it's his birthday today, and he is exactly 40 years older than Miss Alexis Page is.
If I could
Love you,
continue
honey.
under, are we under new business or?
No, you're under unfinished business.
I have one unfinished business, but I don't want to, wow, my phone been going off. I know what it is. I'm scared to answer it. My granddaughter's name is Mayana Barton Clark, her birthday today, so I know, I didn't say her name, but I'm sorry, sweetheart. Go ahead.
Okay, moving on to number 9, to new business.
If I could, real quick to Mayor Burkhoff. Mayor, since we've changed administrations the last couple months, I think we're off to a very positive start here, and you brought some new people on board. Could we get council people, get some things about them, you know, where they're from and their package, what they're paid, and their job description?
Absolutely.
I don't mean
Absolutely.
tonight, but in the
Sure.
near future.
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay, if there's no more new business, then number 10 is communication. Number 11, adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We stand adjourned. Thank you.